Welcome into the Toyota Lounge for the DNVR Avalanche Podcast, powered by your Front Range Toyota dealerships. We got Megan, we got Giz, we got Eric, we got Rudo, coming to you live on a Friday, where we're going to do a little bit more trivia today. I don't know if it'll be harder, easier.
Easier.
I think one question will be easier, and the other question will be harder. Because one of them is designed to be people that you didn't remember. So,
why am I intimidated by this today? Like, I don't normally get too intimidated.
Let's put some straight here too.
Gracious.
it's not. I don't think it's as bad as some of my trivia has been in the past.
The difference between me and you guys is I get my years all mixed up. So
Yeah, there you
that
go.
might not be
They're
good
gonna
today
need you for
trivia.
some of the older draft trivia. You got to come in clutch.
I got to
for
come
'em.
in clutch for that, but the years usually throw me off. Like
We'll see. We'll see how you guys
2020
do.
or 2009 is the same thing.
Well,
for
I've
me.
got great news. We only went up through 2017, so you don't have to worry too much about the
I'm
more
better
recent
than early.
years.
All right.
Oh, no.
Shoot, I've lost already.
Before we get into that, the Avs did have a little bit of news today with the signing of Matthew Phillips. Played 31 games between Washington and Pittsburgh in the NHL last year. 26-year-old winger. To me, he's kind of falls into that group of a bunch of dudes that are going to be fighting for maybe that 12th, 13th forward spot in training camp, but I'll let you guys have your thoughts on Phillips.
I'll jump in first if you guys want because of he's at, Calgary Flames, and when I was with the Flames, he was part of the organization, and it goes exactly with what we were saying yesterday with our show. Connections, right? It's
That was my
Matthew
thought.
Phillips was, here's what I'll say about him. Outstanding hockey player. He is tiny. I don't know what to tell you. Like, there's no ifs and buts. He's just tiny. He's one of the smallest players in the NHL. It's a fact. It's not like, oh, you don't like him. No, I'm not saying I don't like him. I actually like him. He is just very small. There's no other adjective to describe him. With that said, never had it easy. This is a guy that came in the American League with the Flames, and they drafted him on, obviously, hockey IQ and, a skill and drive. This kid has drive, made himself from a scratch at the American League level to an absolute powerhouse player. He is a great American Hockey League player. I don't know what to tell you. Like, he is a great American League player. Kind of falls into the category, a little bit of a tweener.
Yeah.
Because of his size. It's just a fact. Now, he works his butt off in Calgary until he becomes one of those leaders there. And then, his last year there, it's Mitch Love as his coach. He has an outstanding year. Mitch Love goes to Washington, right? Because Huska gets the job. Mitch Love doesn't, so moves to Washington. Waiver claim. Let's get Matthew Phillips, right? Because he's got a good relationship with him. He plays so many. Again, did he play a big role in Washington? No. If you look at it, there's a lot of games he didn't play much. You know what I mean? And for a guy like that, if you don't play, it's tough to make yourself a little bit valuable, so to speak. And that's why you saw him go back on waiver, whatever it is. Now, I think it's a great signing because I do think he can fight for that 13th spot or whatever it is. And you can't help but like the player because he is so small, and you're like, man, oh man, he has to overcome that. And he goes out there and he's got balls, he's got skills. It's a great, for me, 13th forward. I'll call it that if we can. And then again, if he has an outstanding training camp, they might keep him. Who knows what's going to happen? And then B, they might put him on waivers, and you might lose him. This is a guy that, again, he's been picked up before. He might get picked up again.
Yeah.
So, a good signing. I like the signing. I like the player. I don't like his size, but I like the player, and we'll see what it does.
Same agent as Parker Kelly, kind
Yep.
of a similar fringe signing. And LOC, a guy who knows a thing or two about finding success at the American League level and carving out an NHL role for himself. Don't think these two players are similar by any means necessarily, but I echo Eric's sentiment that this is a guy that's fighting for that depth forward spot in the Avs lineup, and it's going to be a really competitive environment. I don't know who really has the edge there. I'm inclined to say in the off-season, Parker Kelly might be better suited for the type of role that's available to him,
Yeah.
but I love what the Avs have done to replenish their depth. in looking at, the Colorado Eagles roster next year, I don't think people realize that they lost a lot of players. And so there have been a lot of signings this summer. Megna's back in the organization, TJ Tynan. And so people were like, man, how are the prospects going to get any playing time? And they lost a lot of their veteran players. And so I think it is important to replenish that pipeline between Loveland and Denver. No matter where Matthew Phillips specifically ends up, there's going to be an opportunity for him in Colorado.
Yeah, and I think, again, we talked about it a little bit yesterday, but putting pressure, a little bit of healthy competition is not a bad thing. There's a couple of guys that are fighting for that, as he said, that 13th spot. It puts everybody in a good spot. The Eagles are in a good spot because of it. The Avs have a good call-up just up the road if they need to. He's got proven success in the NHL before. He had a real good stint with, as he said, with the Caps. NHL guy. I think the organization as a whole, not just the Avalanche specifically, win in a deal like this.
I'll just add one more thing too, and it's like you took the words out of my mouth. You just stole the words like you stole my fries yesterday watching that awesome. It's the most basketball I've ever watched yesterday with Tiff and all the DNVR Nuggets and.
It was also the craziest experience sitting in the United States of America
Rooting
and people
against
it was
unreal.
Team USA.
What
is happening?
I mean, it was awesome. I mean, Adam was there, and it was awesome to watch. And
Jokic is he's insane.
Adam wants to get me on the show because he wants my expertise, but it's fine. It's okay. DNVR Nuggets, here I come. I'm coming soon to a pod near you. But with that said, you nailed it right there. What this guy will do, and we talked about it the other day, is bring competition. Mm-hmm. And I love the competition that's in net right now. It's a crowded crease down there. Mm-hmm. I don't know what's going to happen, but it brings, and then it's a crowded decor, right? Now this guy might push, because you know what? He's had it hard his whole life because of his size. He's used to competing. He's used to being in that position. Nothing's ever been handed to him. So he'll bring some competition, like the Parker Kellys of the world, like Megan just said, and I like that. So I think that is a big thing. And the second part I want to say is winning is developing. So you can't tell me that you are in the American League and you lose every game, but we're young, that all of a sudden your prospects are developing right. You need good leaders. You need good American Hockey League players. And I like that they lost some guys, but they went back, got Tynan. And they might not help the Colorado Avalanche. It's okay. They are helping in their way. You know what I mean? They are helping by their leadership. And what else is coming? The Megna, right? Megna's on an American League deal.
Yeah, they got their captain back.
I'm just saying, it's a lot of. I can tell. I talked to somebody in the American League the other day, and they were mad. They're like, God, Colorado's loading up. You know what I mean? And which is good. Which I do believe winning is developing. So it does help because you're playing in meaningful games. You're playing in meaningful situations. You're playing for first place. You're playing for a playoff round win, so if you're not putting those positions, it's tough. So I like what they've done this summer to get themselves there.
It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite off-season signing for the Avs of the summer, though. Selfishly, it's another one I like a little better.
Okay, I can think of a few.
I like the Calvin DeHaan pickup.
There you go. That makes sense. All right. That math adds up.
He's listen. I think everything you say about a guy like this makes a ton of sense, and I think you've also seen him from the Calgary side of things. I mean, realistically, what do you think he get? Does he contribute this year?
I think he's going to play some games, and this is a kid that started right here his career, and that's made it right here.
It's awesome.
So I think it's awesome.
It's awesome,
and just on balls and merit. You know what I mean? And obviously he's got the skill. He's one of the most skilled person there is out there.
It's awesome.
In juniors, I swear, you thought he was like 12 years old. You know what I mean? Like that's because he is so small. I'm being honest.
Look, on the one hand, he's the 42nd contract on the Avs roster.
Exactly.
Like the Avs have plenty of space. Not a big deal.
Yep. But he had more people that want him. For sure.
Of course. Where I'm a little bit apprehensive about it is two things. One, we've already talked about the defense. Almost certainly the Avs are going to be running 8D at the NHL level.
Forgot about that one.
They probably
Rudo.
So they probably won't carry a 13th forward, at least to start the season.
That's all right. Carry him down there.
Right, which means he's going to end up in the AHL unless he really blows away Parker Kelly and beats out some of these other guys for spots. Yeah. So he's pretty likely to end up in the AHL, at least to start the year. Call-ups, whatever. He could get games, he could get not. The one thing I worry about here is you archetype players at a certain point. And you can't really have him and Jean-Luc Foudy play together, and only one of them is really going to get the call up. And, maybe Matthew Phillips is objectively the better player. Fine, whatever. You're trying to win games. I get it. But I also wonder if you're starting to block a little bit of development with someone like a Foudy.
Yeah.
The Sam Malinsky conversation was more challenging than this one for me.
I agree with
that. Foudy's opportunity to seize. It feels different from the challenges that were presented for a Malinsky, for example. So if Olausson and Foudy are NHL players and can find a way to fit in the Avs roster, Matthew Phillips should not be a problem.
There you go.
I like your point. And to your point there, my difference, the only thing I'll add about, and I like Sam Malinsky. You guys know that. I just think if you ask me today, Schilly, Brandstrom, they're better players than him today. I can't say that about Foudy, to your point, with Matthew Phillips,
for sure.
right?
Foudy's also, 23, and Malinsky's 26, so...
Yeah. No, but I'm just saying I like the parallel. But I want the Avs to have the best team. So it's like and it's like okay, but I understand the forward position. The D, I agree. It's the same thing. It's just today they're better players than where I think Matthew and let's say Jean-Luc Foudy are probably like okay, who would go? You know what I mean? So I don't think you're blocking one another.
No, I think we're saying the same thing.
Yeah, I was saying that's what I'm saying. No, but I was adding Rudo's point. Does that make sense? Like,
Well,
mixing it all in,
For today's show, I can tell you the Avs drafted Jean-Luc Foudy, and they did not draft Matthew Phillips, so he can't come up as one of the trivia questions that we'll get to in a little bit. Just to run down the rules of today's show and chat, I know some of you are going to look up the answers and spoil everything. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Does that include us?
Yes.
Yeah,
don't look up any
Got
answers.
it. Right. Check.
Shit.
We're doing a little draft trivia historically on the Avs. Every year of the draft, we're going to take a look at, and I'm going to have you guys guess the player who played the most games and the player who played the least games, which is like 5 players every year because there's always a bunch of players who didn't play any games. So
There's a couple, there's 7.
yeah, there are some bad years, and then there's a couple years where there's only like 2 players.
Tiff, remember I slipped you $20, so make sure I have the right answers. If you just want to text me now. Great, thanks.
Don't take it that seriously. We're not too worried about getting the answers right, but we'll have some fun talk about some of the players that excelled in Avs draft history. And if you have any stories about the players who busted, then great. But I don't think we'll have too many stories about them. So we'll see exactly how things shake out. We can speed run the first one here before the first break. 1995, the Avs' first draft year. Do you know who played the most games? And this is most NHL games, not the most for the Avs.
I mean, I know who the pick is.
Uh-huh.
Did he end up playing the most games?
I can't.
I mean, man,
Give
he
you
had
that
a long
information.
year. He had a 1995.
Most games played.
I'm going to go Mark Denis, most games played.
That is correct.
Boom, my age.
Friend of the show. We had him on
Friend
the show.
of the show.
So
95 least. Is that what he's saying?
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure there's a few.
get one right and we'll call it good.
95. Man, that's. I mean, I was not even. I was playing in L.A.
That's a lot of years back. I kind of got.
I don't
Yeah,
even
but
have a guess
I
that
kind
won't
of have to
embarrass
cheat
me.
at like the draft class,
Shoot.
but without looking.
Yeah,
at
I don't know
stats.
that
You guys
any of
wouldn't know the
these-
answer. I feel dumber now because
I mean, there was a
shouldn't
second rounder that didn't play any games. Not that anyone would know that.
Oh my god. Oh no, that's the year after.
Played
That's
in
the year before.
OHL.
No, first rounder. He didn't make the. He's now running the draft in Nashville. Assistant GM in Nashville. Played at BU. He was 95 or 94.
I don't know.
Nice.
The Avs only have 95. 94 is Quebec.
Oh, no, that's
so.
true. Yeah, 94 is Quebec. Give me the first name. God damn it. Nick Baudouin.
Yeah.
Nick
Yeah.
Baudin.
Yeah.
God damn it. I knew it too.
You have Nick Baudouin. You also had John Sirjak,
Yeah, I wouldn't
Tommy Hirvonen,
know.
and Chris George.
I don't remember those guys at
all
all.
played 0 NHL games.
Yeah, I'm not with you.
So that's a little bit how it works. If you want to go see
Nick
our
Bowden, I
interview.
should have known because you had a lengthy career though, like in the minors, I believe.
Sure.
So
Never
should
played
have
an
known
NHL
this.
game.
No, he never.
so.
I remember him though. Second round pick, right?
Yes.
Get high hope he's
Yep.
flying, and I remember him in camp.
This is a lot of go back in history.
Yeah, I wanted to, you know what?
Wow.
A lot of people aren't going to know all these names of
Wow.
the guys that never played, so I wanted to throw some
All
out
right.
there
Wow.
So
alongside.
they're drafted in that year.
Yeah,
Okay.
correct. That's a little bit of an example of how it works.
Okay.
If you want Mark Denis stories, we had him on the pod maybe a month or two ago. You can go look up that
Yeah.
episode and enjoy what he talked about. In the meantime, this trivia is brought to you by Toyota. Make sure you get over to your Front Range Toyota dealerships. 17 different all-wheel or four-wheel drive vehicles. On Nick, you Giz? Like Giz, Nick? I don't know.
Giz works. Nick
All right, we'll
works.
stick with
Gizmo,
Giz.
Nick,
Gizmo.
yeah.
You a hiker, off-roader type guy at all or
I'm
no?
a big SUV guy for sure.
Hey, there you go.
Definitely, I mean, I'm actually changing up SUVs right now,
Uh-huh.
so I'm listening.
Toyota time.
Go
right
on.
there.
Tell me more.
Of course, they
Yes.
have things like the 4Runner, the RAV4, all sorts of classics. If you're more of a truck guy, they got Tundras. They've got Tacomas. If you're more of a sedan guy, they've got things like the Corolla. So any vehicle you need, you can find them at your Front Range Toyota dealerships, where they have the official vehicle of DNVR and the official vehicle of the Colorado Avalanche. Get in with them at AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Get into the official vehicle of the Colorado Avalanche. And once you've got your Toyota to drive you to the game, make sure you're getting in with Game Time to get the best prices on tickets out there. Whether it be going to a Rockies game so you can not watch the game and enjoy a beer in Coors Field, whether it be going to Rapids game, whether it be going to even the theater or a concert, Game Time has the tickets available for you. And with code DNVR, when you download their app, you can get $20 off your first purchase. Whatever your tickets might be, with $20 off, I'm pretty sure you can get Rockies tickets for actually free. So you might want to go do that and have a little bit of fun. They also guarantee you the best price. If you find tickets cheaper somewhere else, they'll reimburse your account 110% of the ticket price. So join the over 15 million people that use Game Time to get their tickets, and click the link down in the description to get the app today. All right, back into the trivia. We're into the 1996 draft. Looking for, there's a lot of players who played zero games out of this one.
7 with no games.
But we would also accept any of the top. Well, I guess
96.
the top guy.
96. Kevin Grimes. No games. Grimes?
That sounds correct, but I'd have to look. Hang on.
Grimes?
I
That's
think
not
he probably
96?
played for some other team.
No way.
Oh, it's just not 96. Yeah,
Oh, it's not. I got the wrong year.
one year early, but
1 year off.
yeah,
There was a 7th rounder that came out of that draft that actually was pretty decent.
96.
2 in fact.
Yep.
I'm going to say Brian Wilsey.
Not even close to the right year.
Wills? Wills was with me in training camp.
We'll see as a player, but he's not close to the guy who played the most. 4th most games played in 96.
So he did play games in
Yes,
96.
yes. Well, he didn't play games in 96, but he was drafted. in
Who was our
96.
first pick in 96?
It's not their first pick, I'll tell you that right now.
Wait, are we going most games right now or least games?
Most, yeah, technically I'll accept either, but no one's going to know any of the guys who played least games. So
So we're saying the most games played with the Avalanche
No,
that came out
most
of the
games
90s.
played-
In the NHL.
in the NHL.
Oh, my God. I can't believe I don't know the answer. I'm on that freaking team.
Yes.
High note. Danny High note.
3rd most games played.
Yeah, I knew I know.
Would
so I knew he
probably
wasn't
be the
wrong.
most with the Avs, but not the most total.
Hedgie. No?
No, Hedgie
No,
was
Hedgie's
drafted by
Nordiques.
Quebec.
Yeah,
technically,
Hedgie's Nordiques. Yeah. So was Drew.
He
96.
played in Sweden when he was drafted.
Played in Sweden.
Listed as a center.
Danny High note was 3rd on that list?
Correct. He played most of his career in Anaheim, it looks like.
Oh, my God. Paulson.
Yep.
Samuel
Sammy
Paulson.
Paulson.
Samuel Paulson.
Big part of the Ray Bork trade. Staff did not want to let him go to make that Ray Bork trade.
There you go.
Staff was on the plane one of the rare times that Pierre decided to not go with his staff, and the staff was on the plane, and back then there was no reaching the people on the plane,
Yeah.
with
Right.
the Wi-Fi, and then he made the deal. And
That was
I can
that.
tell you some guys were pissed about giving up
Him
Sammy
being
Paulson.
gone.
Again, Paulson
out.
ended up going to Anaheim. He ended up having an unbelievable playoff year in that cup-winning. He was
He
a
did.
good
He won.
two-way
He was
player.
there in
Yeah,
7.
with Jiggy. Yeah,
That's
in
right.
Anaheim, yeah, good player.
That's right.
Sammy Paulson, I forgot he was 96. Okay, Danny Heino was there.
Just beat out Mark Parrish as well.
I was going to say
for
Paris is
700
right there,
games.
yeah.
Mark Parrish, who went on to. Mark Parrish was in.
NHL Network.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right, I know Marky. And
Yep.
then Minnesota.
Yep.
Yeah, Minnesota boy.
So I'll tell you a funny story about Mark Parrish. And I think if we ever asked him, he would
Parrish
he,
will come on.
He would confirm that. We used to have training camps in Colorado Springs because we didn't have a practice rink, and so we'd go to Colorado Springs, stay on the side of the road there, like the Sheraton. We weren't allowed cars or nothing. And I remember that camp had started, and then they said that they had signed one of their draft picks, Mark Parrish, out of St. Cloud, right? And I remember being in the lobby having breakfast. A bunch of guys were having breakfast. Then we saw Goo meet Mark Parrish in the lobby, and then he walked in with his gear and his sticks, and he went around. It's an open lobby, and that's the last time I've ever saw him. So I couldn't tell you what happened.
That was it.
He never came on the ice the next day. He never signed a deal with the Avalanche.
Wild.
He never. I'm not sure what happened. We could
There you
ask
go.
Goo that. And he got on the plane and left again. And I'm not too sure. And then he was traded to Florida, I think. I think he went back to school, and he got traded for who? GM of the front of the show, New Jersey Devils, Tommy Fitzgerald.
Whoa.
There you go.
At the trade deadline. So anyway, that's my Mark Parrish story.
Quickly, since you'll never guess any of these names, the 0 games played from '96: Ben Story, Randy Petruk, Luke Curtin, Kai Fisher, Roman Pilner, Matt Skorsun. I don't know.
Best thing about this episode is going to be Rudo's pronunciation.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be some brutal ones. Justin Clark.
I remember a couple guys because of training camp. So they're, they were there in training camp if they were junior guys. Never
Sure.
got signed, but I remember them in training camp,
All right, Eric's dominating too much. Let's do a more recent one.
That I'll suck there.
2013.
Yikes.
There's 3.
I know, but they all blend in.
Oh, come on. This was easy.
That's the problem.
This is mostly just about remembering your years.
That's what I'm saying. I suck at years. 13 is Mac, right?
It is Nathan McKinnon. Yes.
Sorry, I took over. I'll shut
He's
my
too
mouth.
good. He's too good at the draft stuff.
I mean, the guy was kind of a front office guy for a while,
Was
and then
Bleakley?
Bleakley was next year, 2014.
Okay.
Can you name the
next year.
second most out of 2013? Just because I don't think you guys can.
13? Yeah. Hold on.
He's thinking hard.
So, just tell me one thing. Is Malash that year?
No, Milosh.
Okay,
was
that's a
the
year
next-
after.
2 years after.
2 years
actually,
after.
Yeah.
Because that's the one they didn't take Brendan Carlo.
Was it a Siemens year?
No, Siemens.
Siemens
is
was before.
I was there.
BU kid though.
Sorry, this is a BU kid?
DU.
This is a DU kid?
Yeah.
Oh,
there's a good second rounder, a good third rounder.
Is it Will Butcher?
It is Will Butcher.
yeah. It
That's
is Will Bush.
275.
way.
There's another guy that played games too.
Squilliam
There's a
Butcher.
bunch of. There's 3 more guys that played games.
A
Technically,
few games, not a lot.
Yeah.
Least out of that draft, though.
Yeah, it's a 6th and a 7th rounder. Unless you're a degenerate like me, you won't know these names. One of them played for St. Cloud a lot. And
That
one of them
played or
is
didn't play?
Swedish. I mean, he played. He was a defenseman that got
Played a few
switched to
games.
center by the end of his career in St. Cloud. But
That was a light draft year, too.
the other was a Swede that never really made it out of the second league. So
Shit, I'm stomped on that one.
cool. We'll move on. Ben Storm and Wilhelm Westland were the
Ooh.
I
two
wouldn't
that
have
never
known.
played.
Yeah.
That was a light draft year, though, right?
No, they had all their picks. I mean, they didn't have any extras.
Who else played games, though?
Bigra, Martin, Geertsen.
Oh, yeah, I knew that. Gertzy. God. Good guy.
Yep. None of which played a lot. But 07? All right. Salute. 07. At least 2 people will know what I'm talking about that. There are 5 players that played games from 07. I will take any of them, would be a fun answer. There's one that you should definitely know from the Avs. And then, yeah.
One of my partners in Chicago, or not in Chicago anymore, was player and then broadcast after Olczyk and Foley. First name C, last name starts with C.
Yeah, that was second rounder.
Yeah.
He did technically play
Colby
3
Cohen.
NHL games. That's true.
Well, Shaddy's there, so Shaddy's got the
Shaddy
most
here.
probably.
Shattenkirk has the
Shattenkirk.
most. And technically still playing, so.
Shaddy.
Eric, you should get this.
I should get this one, I know.
You should
So I
get the
probably
second
traded him.
rounder.
Shaddy, Colby.
Want a hint?
Yeah.
Or should I guess it?
So-
Yeah.
Last name starts with a G.
It sure does. Goes by initials.
First name is initials. Last name starts with a G. G-A.
Grinder. From Dartmouth.
Oh. He's still playing?
No.
Oh, David Jones.
No.
Dartmouth, though. I see you.
Who the hell went to Dartmouth beside Jonesy? Hold on.
Way worse player than David Jones.
Whoa.
Whoa, Jonesy
As
scored
far as
30.
offensive production.
Dartmouth.
You love this guy. I can already tell. You love him. I'm so sad. He also,
But I
after the
traded him.
Avs, he played for San Jose, Calgary, and Winnipeg.
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? My boy. I hope he's listening. TJ Gagliardi. Sorry, Gally.
Yeah.
Oh.
Good kid. Love him.
Nice job, Casey.
Love him.
Also had Brad Malone in that draft class and Paul Carey.
Still playing.
Yeah.
Brad Malone married who?
I have no idea.
Coach Kirk Muller, ex-NHLer, his daughter.
Really? Wow.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Now there's some
See,
extra
I
trivia.
meid I get my years mixed
Yeah.
up, but I can connect.
There's
the
a little
guys,
extra
you know.
trivia in that.
Yeah.
Smokes.
I like Kirk Muller as a player, man. Loved him. Montreal '93.
He was the guy. I remember I got his hockey card, and I was thrilled.
But Brad Malone, North Dakota, I tell you, I loved him in college. Smitty, Brad Smith, our player personnel, loved him. Still playing.
It's a tough goalie year for the Avs. Trevor Can, Kent Patterson,
I remember that.
neither played. And then
Patterson was at BU.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Jens Helgren and Johan Olsen also
I don't remember those
drafted
guys.
and never played. That's the idea. You're not supposed to know the guys who never played.
Hmm.
What do we got next week? Nah, we don't. Well, let's do this first. Never mind. We're not doing that in 1 minute. So, before we jump into the next trivia, make sure that if you are hiring, don't end up with these 0 NHL games played yet. Well, I guess maybe they're good at other stuff. I shouldn't judge. Oh God! If you need to hire, you need Indeed.
God.
You're doing great. Good for you. Congratulations on getting drafted. Bye. See ya.
Look, this is why you need to go the college free agent route or something. All right. Indeed has over 350 million visitors. That's a whole lot more people than get drafted in any given year. So you can find the right employees for you. And Indeed doesn't just help you hire faster. 93% of employers agree Indeed delivers the highest quality matches compared to other job sites, according to a recent Indeed survey. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/AllCity. That's Indeed.com/AllCity. Go there right now and support our show by saying you heard it here on this podcast. Indeed.com/AllCity. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed. And once you've hired up, make sure you're eating for lunch. I know lunch can be hard to fit in on some work days, certainly for me, who just has a 11 a.m. podcast, and then we meet at noon, and then it's 4 o'clock, and I haven't eaten lunch. It's a problem, but it can be solved with Factor meal kits. Super easy to use, 35 different meals to choose from, and 60 add-ons on top of that for every week. It can take just 2 minutes to get your Factor meal ready to go and eaten if you're on the go or if you're at home. They have all sorts of options, whatever type of diet you're working on. Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, many others as well. Jump in with Factor if you haven't had the opportunity yet. My favorite part is how easy it really is. They make quality meals that you can enjoy, that you don't have to slave over for 45 minutes over the stove. So head to factormealkits.com/abs50 today to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month. That's factormealkits.com/abs50. Again, 50% off your first box there. Jump on with them. We really like them over here. A lot of us use Factor because we're degenerates who work too much. I know you guys are too.
What's your go-to?
With Factor, I really like their roast beef.
Oh.
I can go in. I'm a borderline just a carnivore at this point in my life. So
Pretty cool, though. What is it? Duchesne is what, 09? Draft?
Duchesne would have been 09.
Speaking of draft, that was one of our best drafts, right? Because you got Ryan.
Yeah.
And then look at Ryan. He's now a freaking businessman with Factor meals, you know? Yeah. Good job, Ryan.
All right. So you've baited us into 09. Which player from 09 has the most games played?
I mean, it's got to be Matty. He's got over 1,000 now.
It
Did
is
Ryan?
not Matt Duchesne.
No, Ryan's got over 1,000.
Because he's had some injury, too.
It's got Ryan. It's got to be Ryan.
All right. He guesses Ryan.
I'm going Ryan.
There's a third player that's played quite a few games in that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Pretty-
What's your 09?
Yeah.
Pretty good draft. I mean, you want me to tell you all the guys in order?
So this was your draft, clearly.
Yeah. So it was Matty. Then it was Ryan.
Yep.
We just missed on Kyle Clifford there. He's still playing. But
Another second rounder?
Yeah.
Good third rounder.
Tyson Berry.
Yep.
That's the third.
Stephen Elliott.
Yep.
I mean, Elliott, he played like what?
80.
Over 100. Oh, okay, close enough. Okay, so that's pretty good.
If you can guess the fifth, I'd be surprised.
Shit. Didn't play though, right?
Yeah, fifth, sixth, and seventh all didn't play.
I wouldn't remember.
Interesting first name of a kid that's
Good
they've
clue.
got a kid on.
Good clue.
They've got a kid on DU who has the same first name, who you know well, who played with Max.
Secure.
Oh my God. Kieran Milan, BU goaltender.
Yep.
We ended up signing him.
There you
We
go,
ended
buddy.
up signing him. Kieran Milan. Yep. He was
Shout
a
out
good goalie.
to Siebes if he's watching.
Siebes, you're the man.
They drafted another goalie in the sixth, Brandon Maxwell.
Yeah, I remember him. You know what? Okay, this is a funny story. He played in
How
Kitchener.
do you have stories about
Because
everybody?
I was part of it. This guy was supposed to be a first rounder.
Always. I love it.
Maxwell was supposed to be a first rounder. He was a bit of a wild card, though. I remember. And then he was in Kitchener with, I want to say it was with Landy in Kitchener. And then he ended up like sliding, obviously, fifth, right? To
Sixth even, yeah.
Sixth. And he was one of those guys that had the talent to be an NHL goaltender. And then, because I remember, but he was kind of a wild card a little bit, you know what I mean? And maybe ahead of his time, I don't know. He was just kind of, he was hard to put it all together. And, but he was a very talented goalie that should have been, could have been ranked in the first round of that year, the year before. So.
Want to know what my favorite thing about the Kitchener Rangers building in the Ontario Hockey League is? The Odd.
Love that place.
I loved it too.
What's so cool about it?
It was the only building in the Ontario Hockey League that you got to have like the NHL feel, where in the dead of winter in the middle of nowhere, Canada, the bus would pull into the actual underbelly of the arena.
Nice.
That's nice.
That is cool.
It had a big deal feel.
Hey, if you want to go watch an OHL game and you're on chat, go watch Kitchener Rangers.
Yep.
It's an awesome experience. I mean, it was Landy when I went in there to watch Landy, but wow.
The Odd.
Isn't that a city-owned team? And right, it's
is.
owned by the city, and it's awesome. It's awesome experience.
Yep. Pete DeBoer and Steve Spott coached
My
there
God,
for a long
factory
time.
of like
There you go.
freaking NHLers there. It's awesome.
Kitchener.
Seventh was Gus Young. For the
Oh my
record.
God, Gus Young went to Yale.
Every day.
He went to Nobles and Greeno in high school. I liked him. And guess what? Our guy, Neil Shea, I want to say at that time, he talked about Gus Young like this. He's our Scuderi. He's our Scuderi. Because remember, Scuderi had been drafted years before, but Pittsburgh ended up winning, being a Stanley Cup champion. But he's our Scuderi.
What was your last year with the Avs, Eric?
Shoot. I went in and out. 14 maybe? Like, what's McKinnon? 14? 13?
13 was
Yeah,
McKinnon.
13.
All right.
Let's do 2000.
All right. Tiff says let's do 2000. We're doing it 2000. This is a gigantic draft class, for the record.
Really?
The leader in games played of this draft class, 5th round pick.
Hold on. I got to put I remember I told you my years all. I'm still playing at that time, so then I get all confused, right?
You know this guy professionally.
2000. So they went in 01.
Tied for
Big.
best looking guy to ever play on the Avs.
Easy. Wait a minute. Don't give me the answer to the person who I know you're talking about, but give me who you think is the other half of the tie, Tiff.
It's not a tie. Landy's way more
Landy's,
attractive looking.
Yeah, Landy's a handsome man.
If you ask women over,
He was definitely the pretty boy from that era, for sure.
Loves his wine.
God, I wish I had a mic.
I think he probably left the Avs right before you started. I think.
Oh.
Is this Lyles?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I was going to say. Yeah.
Johnny.
No,
Okay,
no.
I'm glad I didn't blindly guess who I thought the second most handsome Av was, because it wasn't going to be Lyles.
Wait.
He's a handsome man. It's not even.
Can
to
I get this
marry him.
answer, though?
It wouldn't have been. No, I actually.
No, wait, I think you need to. Uh-oh.
I'm actually just gonna
She's blushing.
Look, we've had multiple people come on this show and say Mike Ricci's attractive. So
Actually, okay, so that I thought that was like that's someone that comes to mind that women find different players attractive than men find.
definitely
attractive.
true. Our polling has had almost
Mixed.
100% of men say Landy, and women will get like anyone.
Landy's handsome.
I agree.
I remember Johnny because that's a good late pick. Then I was working with the Avs when we signed him, and Goo told me, he's like, go see him, but make your own opinion. But reminds me of Steve Duchesne. So if you're an older gentleman or lady on chat, he was like, and he was very similar to Steve Duchesne, skated the same way, and I went to see him at Michigan State, and I'll always remember that game at Michigan State. He scored one of the only times I've ever seen that live, a goal at 3-on-5.
Yeah.
He scored a goal at 3.
It happens once
on the
every
3.
couple of
That's what I
years,
mean.
yeah.
Like, that I saw live. Like, I've never seen one live. Like, I saw it live, and I was like, holy shit. Okay, But, they had a good team there at State, Michigan State. It was Miller and net, right?
Yep.
They had some good players. Booth ended up being a first-round pick to Florida. Had a lengthy career, too. Anyway, it was a good...
Abdicator came shortly after
Yeah.
that
Albuquerque.
in Michigan State.
Of course, you would know the Red Wing.
Actually, he was there. He was there. He was younger on that team, yeah. But Johnny was a great college player. Then, you know what? He jumped in, if I remember, right away in the playoffs with the Avs.
All right. You have 10 seconds to guess one of the guys that didn't play a game because we need to go faster.
Shit. 3000.
Jeff was huge.
Nope.
Give me a first name.
You guys
though.
don't have it. Sergey or Agris
Oof.
or another Sergey.
Was Agris the first name?
Yes.
Wow.
Sergey Soin.
Yep.
I went to see him.
Also had Sergey Kliasmin.
I went to see Sergey Soin in Sweden, and at the Swedish games with Smitty, Brad Smith, and yeah, no, it wasn't one of our favorites.
Agris Saviels.
Yes, I remember
Chris
him.
Bahin, Aaron Molnar, Daryl Bootland, Sean
Bootland
Bootland played
Kotiri,
forever in the minors.
Yeah.
Blake Ward.
Blake Ward.
You also had Niederost and Allan that played games.
Neto was like first rounder.
Yeah, he was. And then Kurt Sauer was the second most
Yeah,
games played
Kurt.
from that
Wow.
draft. Next, 2011. This one should be obvious for who played the most,
11.
unless you've mixed up your years.
Well, we just talked about him, didn't we?
Did we?
No?
Very handsome.
That's what I'm saying. We just
Yeah.
talked about him.
True.
Landon.
Good golfer, too. Yeah. Landy.
Gable Landeskog.
Yeah.
You already mentioned the other player that had played games was Duncan Siemens from this draft. The Non-drafted players.
I should know that.
Was Hurd that year?
Hurd was the next year.
Mitch Hurd next year, yeah. Third rounder, right? First pick, but third round or second rounder?
Second rounder.
Second round.
11 was Joachim Neermark, Garrett Muirs, Gabriel Beaupre, and Dylan Donnelly.
My God, he's a scout now, Dylan Donnelly.
Next. That one was boring.
Okay. Let's go back to 97.
Jumping all over the place.
Yeah, this is craziness. You guys already said Kevin Grimes is the guy who didn't play any games, which is correct. This one doesn't really have a guy who played a ton of games. The leader played 385 games.
97?
97.
Fuck's our first round. 98 is when we had 3 or 4 first rounders, correct? That's 98.
That's 98, yeah.
So 97.
I did cheat on this one. I don't know.
There's only one. Well, there's 2 names you should really know for sure.
97.
Yep.
Ended up playing here or somewhere else?
2 of them played here.
Like decent years or? 97, Rick Barry?
Rick Barry is one of them, but not one of the ones that I was thinking of.
Okay, well, Brian
Still
Wilson.
counts.
That was 96.
God. Rick Barry.
You thinking what round is the guy you're talking about?
I mean, one was a 6th, one was a 3rd.
Oh.
96.
Yeah, think of a guy who you really appreciated as a grinder,
Abs-wise.
abs-wise. Won the cup in 01 with them. He's
All right.
Finland.
Oh, my God. Vili Niminen.
Yeah.
Nemo! What a wild card he was. Hey, I'll tell you one thing. 01, he's one of the reasons why they trade Deadmarsh because, you know what I mean? They're like, oh, my God, we can put him with and he was outstanding. And he had that face, you know, like Nemo. He's like, I think he's a GM in the Finnish
Are
league
you
now.
allowed to say that?
What?
Can you just say he had that face?
No, he had that face like that you just want to punch. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so everybody wanted to eat him on the ice. The opposition wanted to kill this guy, and he'd be like this, like, and his English sucked. You know, he'd be like, yes, I think he's like, is he a coach or is he a GM in the Finnish league? He's still in hockey. You know what? He had a short career. Ended up being traded to like Pittsburgh for Kasperitis, you know, a couple years later. But he was so crucial in that 01 Cup. It's amazing, you know. Then he kind of never put it together again. But yeah, Nemo, that's a good pick though. You know, good pick.
Also had Brad Larson and
Clutch,
goalie.
97,
Yeah.
goalie.
Larson was the name I remembered out of that draft.
Fair.
Well, Clutch ended up, you know, carving out a few hundred games. So that's good. And then obviously coaching in the NHL.
Imagine not thinking up David Abisher right now.
Oh, that was Abby there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Abby. Le Suisse, Switzerland.
Next.
2016.
2016. Oh, man, that's a tough one for me.
That's when you're going like no man's land.
Only 2 players have played NHL games from the 2016 draft class for the Avs.
16. So go backwards. So
Is this-
13
is
was
this the Bo
McKinnon.
year?
Is it what?
Bo?
No.
So 13 is McKinnon.
13 is McKinnon. That's you're 4 years away.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just going to go
Is it
backwards. You know what I mean?
Newhook?
Like
Or am I too?
You're
far?
too
Okay,
recent.
I
Too
need
recent.
to go back a little
Yeah.
bit. Peel back the onion. Okay.
Kale's the shitty year, so that's not that year. Before Kale.
He's got the last name of an Olympic correspondent.
Everyone.
Everybody loved him.
Ugh.
Oh, that's okay. Never mind.
Oh, are we in the Joe steer?
Yes.
All right.
Joe Steve.
The love hate.
I would have been wrong on Joe Steve. I pushed hard in Calgary to get him when he was struggling here. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But nice kid though. Nice kid. It just wasn't. That's not his fault. He just wasn't a 15 or was he
10th.
whatever? 10th overall. He's just not a 10th overall pick. It's not his fault. But Seemed like
look.
a good kid. Seemed like a nice kid. He's still playing around, so.
How many games does he have? Do you have it in front of
456.
you? Currently in the NHL?
Yep. Not quite Eric Lacroix numbers, but pretty close.
Close.
156 more than I played in the NHL. So.
The other player who played games from that draft class, Adam Werner. He played
Goalie.
two.
Goalie?
Yep. Both for the
Big
Avs.
guy. Big guy, right?
Then you also had Cam Morrison, Josh Anderson, Nathan Clerman, and Travis Barron from 2016.
Interesting.
Those were thin years for a couple years. They were like, eesh.
Yeah, the Avs in the mid 2015s.
Yeah, it
They
was
were
tough.
really good in the first round,
Yeah.
but not so good everywhere else.
It was getting a little thin.
So, anyway, on that note, we are also here presented by Raising Cane's. If you haven't gotten your chicken fingies on, make sure you go get with Raising Cane's. Get those breaded chicken fingers. And really, I could eat anything with Raising Cane sauce. Like, it doesn't matter. Like,
I'll even eat vegetables with
yeah,
that sauce.
right. Like, it's just a vessel to get the sauce into
Yeah.
my mouth, whatever it is. So, Raising Cane have you covered with the sauce. All right. Go get it. Go get their Texas toast and crinkle cut fries too, though. They have tons of great options over at Raising
I
Cane's.
really want Raising Cane's right now.
There you go. Maybe this is a lunch date.
No, but
At
you know
Raising
what?
Cane's.
I'll add to this. If you like to make like at home like lobster rolls or whatever,
Yeah.
you know, like
Their
the
sauce?
New England lobster roll. No. You take their buns,
Oh
you
yeah.
slice it in there,
There you
and then
go.
you put a little lobster in there and make a nice lobster roll from the East Coast or a Montreal Forum hot dog.
Best.
Use those buns; they're sick.
Don't know if I'm going to be able to pull a Montreal Forum hot dog in
Just use their
Colorado.
buns. Use their buns. Put a hot dog in it and press it, and then there's a Montreal Forum hot dog
Best press box.
in the league.
Yep.
Well,
Hot dogs and poutine.
for
in the
those of
press
us who
box.
don't get to go to the press box, you have Raising Cane's. For cook-to-order hand-battered chicken fingers, race into Raising Cane's today and turbocharge your chicken fingers. Get them even faster by ordering online at raisingcanes.com or through their mobile app, Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, One Love. And once you've filled your stomach with Raising Cane's, make sure you check out Rugged Road. Rugged Road is dedicated to creating innovative and durable outdoor gear for adventurers who demand the best. Our products are designed with the highest quality materials and craftsmanship, ensuring they perform in the toughest conditions. So if you are an outdoorsy Colorado type of person, Rugged Road is the way to go. One of the most unique features of Rugged Road coolers is their ability to always float upright. So if you're tubing down the river, just drop the cooler into the river next to you. It'll float right along. It's that easy.
So what I'm seeing here, and follow me, you grab a job with Indeed, right? And then you're working, okay? And then you swing on over to Toyota on Arapahoe and you
There you
grab
go.
yourself a truck, okay? But you're hungry, and so you go get the Raising Cane's. You swing and grab some Coors Lights and you throw them in the Rugged coolers, and you are laughing. It's literally your one-stop shop for everything.
You're seeing the
just by
connections.
what we're telling you here.
You're seeing the connection.
I love it. Gosh, I love it. I'm gonna go spend a lot of money today.
Go head over to ruggedroadoutdoors.com today, and you can use code DNVR to get 10% off your order for their lightweight, durable, and always floating upright stuff. A cooler? What does a cooler qualify? A container?
A vessel.
Yeah, I
It's
don't know
another
what to call
vessel.
it.
It's a vessel.
Whatever it is, you
Cool,
can get it
chilled
at
vessel.
ruggedroadoutdoors.com today. Final period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. We're speed running whatever's left of these.
Oh, one.
0-1. This is 4 first rounders. Can you? Oh, no, that's 98. I'm sorry. Wrong one.
Svatos?
So 0-1 is a Svatos. However,
He's late.
he is just barely pipped by another
He's
guy.
like sixth, isn't he? Swatos?
7th.
Seventh. That's a good seventh round pick. Who won? Swats or
Goalie.
He's actually not the most.
Boots is 01.
Correct.
Aw.
Yeah, Boots is our second rounder, our first pick.
There's a
that
guy who played more, though, than both of those guys.
Wow.
01?
Yep. Grinder.
Hold on.
Where did he spend most of his career?
I think the Avs, but then he went on to play in Buffalo for a while, too.
Oh, shit. I should
Not
know.
Cody McLeod, but
Cody McCormick. God, I love that kid. Oh, I loved him in juniors. I tell you one thing. One of the toughest abs ever.
just to give you guys a through line, when Eric says he loves a kid, their stat line looks like this. 65 points in 405 games as a forward.
Yeah, but it's one of those guys. He was a tough kid. He made it. Good teammate. He was a lefty. Oof, yeah, he was a lefty. I'm talking about wah. He was a righty on the ice, but wah. He was a lefty. Wow, I liked it. That was a good pick, man. And Svats is a great pick that year.
I will say, 01, kind of a elite name draft for the Avs. Danny Boyes, Colt King,
Colton King, I remember him.
Frantisk Skladany.
BU boy.
Yep.
Skladany ended up signing. He played a little bit in the East Coast in San Diego. Played a little bit in.
Also, I'm convinced that Mikko
Quinn.
Rantanen traveled back in time to play defense as Mikko Viitanen.
I liked him.
And he didn't like it, so we came back.
Vitanen, I liked him.
George McFly'd it.
Couldn't put it together, but I liked him.
Yeah, the other names are cool too, I guess. Pierre-Luc Aymond,
Yeah, look
Scott Horvath, and Charlie Stevens. Next.
All right.
Scott Horvath.
99.
1999.
God.
There
So
is
98 is the 4 picks. 99.
a guy who played over 1,000 games in 99. Longtime Coyote.
Oh God, that's a sick pick. Actually, that's a sick pick. Radim Verbata.
It is Radim Verbata. Eric
Yeah.
just knows.
Verby, you know what? He looked like a little Milan Hajduk a little bit. Right shot, could score. He had that shootout move too. Man, oh man, nice set of hands in the history of the Avalanche. Radim Verbata. That's a good. What pick was he?
7th round.
Yeah, that's a good 7th rounder. 1,000 games. I mean, that's wow. Heck of a pick.
This draft also included the funniest mistake the Toronto Maple Leafs ever made, Jeff Finger.
Oh my God, Fingy was in there. Yeah. Riku Hall. Riku Hall's in there.
Is in there.
Yes.
You
Loved
also
him. He had the
had
Jofa bucket.
Bunch of guys I don't really recognize. Mikhail Kuleshov,
Yeah, that's a bad pick.
Martin Grenier,
Never panned out.
Branko Radivojevic,
Oh,
Bronco.
yeah. Where he was.
He was in the OHL.
yeah.
Bronco.
Belleville.
Belleville. Tough guy.
Yeah, I liked him.
Played
Tough guy.
almost 400
Like the
games.
fight.
Bronco.
Belleville Bulls.
Yep.
Bronco.
And
Yeah.
then Jordan Kristanovic.
Cristo. He ended up playing a little bit. Played in Hershey, but he ended up playing in the
Radivojevic.
NHL a little bit. A few games for the Avs, yeah.
22.
Yep. Jordy.
Next. Sorry, Least. We have to go fast.
yeah,
We
there
have
you
6 minutes left.
7 minutes, or 17.
17.
That's why I lose it.
I got this.
So is that what year is Kale like? No, Kale's later. What year is the shit year?
2016,
2018?
2017. That summer they would have drafted. 2017, after the bad year. Who'd
So
they
this
get
is after the bad
yeah,
year?
who'd they get after the bad year? The summer of the bad
What,
bad year.
Kale, right?
Yeah.
That's the
Kale.
Kale falls into their lap, right? I mean,
Hey.
in a good way. I'm not saying.
He panned out okay.
Yeah.
It's all
That's a
right.
good pick.
It's all right.
I think Makar. I think he's got a future in the league too.
Oh, Cout.
Yeah.
Was he that draft class?
Cout is 2018, which is where I cut it off.
Jeez. Like Eric, I'm not on.
You've
lose
been
my
consistently 1 year ahead.
Yeah. So the year of Kale, it's Kale.
There's only one other player who's played.
Is that
NHL
the one I
games.
asked? The Malash one? Is that
No.
it?
Two Knicks in that
that's
draft,
way-
not
that's
me.
way-
True.
Did not get drafted.
Malash was 2016.
Thought I got
16.
overlooked, to be quite honest with you.
Not even. He was 2015.
I didn't have the size or the skill or the hands or the junior games, but whatever.
Nick.
Who was more injured in their career, Gizmo or this guy?
Shit. Kale's year?
Yep. Traded for a goalie.
I know if you tell me the goalie, then it gives it away.
I mean, there's
Hold
only
on,
like one that could really be.
Huh?
Had a concussion problems, really bad. They played for Toronto last year.
My God, I knew that. Timmins.
Yeah.
God, I knew that.
Oh, I was so confused. I thought this was
Kemper.
a Nick.
No.
Okay.
Nick,
No,
Nick
I kept
Henry
thinking
came after
Nick
that.
too, Megan, because you
I was
threw me
sorry.
off
All
with
right,
Nick.
right.
Connor Timmins was
Nick
the other one that played.
Henry.
Yeah.
Nick Henry, I remember that right
Also,
shot.
Nick Lieberman. was
I
the
wouldn't
other
have gone
Nick.
Lieberman.
I don't know that. Don't remember that.
Who I can't read it. Who are the other names?
Peter Kovacha, Igor Shvirev, Dennis Smirnov.
Okay.
Smirnov, yeah. Penn State, right?
Smirnov still playing in the ECHL. Yeah.
Smirnov.
One more?
Good
Yeah,
last
sure.
name.
All right,
15.
13 is Mac. We're closer. Miko is 15.
It's Miko's year. Oh,
It's got to be Miko so
Yeah,
it's
far,
Miko.
right?
all right.
You already mentioned Milosh a million times.
Okay, that's the one they missed on Carlo. So Miko, is there a bunch of guys that play games? No.
There's a bunch of guys that played a few games. There's one guy you'll know for sure. Played for Boston and Calgary recently.
My God, second rounder AJ Greer.
Yeah.
Went to BU for a year, left, went to Ruin Noranda
Yep.
in the Q. David Quinn coached him at BU.
AJ Greer. Where's he now?
He played for Calgary last year. I don't know where he went this
I don't know where he's at. He
offseason.
signed somewhere this summer. I'm trying to remember. Not Calgary. He's been everywhere a little bit. AJ Greer, and then the guy after AJ Greer that year played games too.
Both, actually, all three guys after.
Three.
You already said Milosh, so.
Yeah, but that's not. Yeah, obviously not a lot of games. But you ever play for the Avs or just San Jose? Did he ever play
Just
for-
San Jose. Never played
never
again.
for the Avs. Okay, Milosh.
The other guy,
AJ Greer, Milosh.
also a Husky from Roan Noranda.
Euro.
No.
Frenchie?
Yep. Two first names.
There's a lot of information in that head over there.
It's incredible. I like hope that this was going to be a team effort, and Eric is just over here like dominating the draft trivia.
Hold on.
I'm giving tips.
2 names.
Yep.
I can't.
Not 4.
Not four.
Jean-Luc Grandpierre.
Yeah,
That's
no.
Columbus back then. 4 names.
Two first names.
2 first names.
There's a really
French
similar name to a name you've already said on this show.
2 names. I can't believe I don't remember that.
Center. His games were with Ottawa. Probably would know him better by his initials than his 2 first names.
Miko, AJ Greer,
I remembered Greer, obviously.
Milosh, and then
J. C. B.
It's not It's not Bodine. It's
oh yeah.
No, it is.
Is it?
Yeah. John Christophe Baudin.
That's it.
J.C. Baudin.
That's
J.C.
it.
Baudin.
J.C.
That's right.
Baudin.
I forgot that. I forgot about him. He played games.
For Ottawa, yep.
Oh really?
And then
Good for him.
Andrei Mironov also played 10 games. Then Boykov and Olhaver. And that's, I'm
Don't
sure we
remember.
missed a few years, but that's all the time we have. And we're not doing the 4 first-round pick years because we'll take 45 minutes on that one. So,
Yep. That was all to get.
for the record, Robin Regehr played the most out of those 4.
Out of those 4, yeah.
Robin
Beat Tanguay by 2 games.
Regehr.
No shit.
Yep.
Yeah, good old Reggie was. Yeah, he played forever.
All right. I don't know. That was fun. Hopefully you enjoyed it.
That was stressful.
Eric knows way too much trivia about drafts, apparently.
bucket of beers.
Yeah, that's what we needed. We need to chill after
Friday.
that.
Let's go.
It is Friday, which means we're off this weekend. We will be back with you guys Monday with more stuff. Also, keep an eye out for a video about Avs drafts that I'm working on, hopefully out this weekend. It's what inspired me to do this stupid little trivia show. But you guys seem to like the trivia in the off season, so maybe you learned something and maybe you think I'm stupid now. Either way, I'll take it. We will be back on Monday. We'll see you guys then.
Y'all silly like the